Going on, guys? My first YouTube video. My name is Drew, and I'm going to give a little intro on myself before we get into this. I'm 29. I live in Southern California, and basically I love to be a guinea pig, so I decided to go for the RawTill4 diet challenge, basically. I set a personal goal of 6 months to go for, and initially wanted to make a video at the 6-month mark, but honestly the physical results hadn't manifested themselves yet, so although I felt good, I had an inconsistent workout routine, and I just got my first bike. We're talking at the 6-month mark. I wanted to push the review out to another year because I did decide to just keep going with it. So it was worth it to me, definitely. Right off the bat, I knew that this was a good thing. So we'll get more into that later. But as far as the background on me goes, I came from a bodybuilding style background and diet. 5 eggs for breakfast, eating 150 grams of protein a day, whey protein, steak, chicken, depending on what I was doing, I would bulk up or, lean down, the whole routine. I'd go on workout kicks of 6 to 9 months and then get run down and then fall off the wagon and inevitably have to, lose strength and then come back to the program. This went on and off for 10 years, never really getting anywhere, never really getting super strong or even that aesthetic in terms of muscle. But, over time, there was some little gains. So the purpose of this video, I'm going to break it into stages. I'm going to do it a little differently than everybody else does around here. I'm going to break it into a 1-year timeline. So you're going to see, how it affected me in stages, basically. I'm going to cover the practical, everyday applications and aspects of RawTill4. Not going to get super technical in this video. I'm going to tell you how I felt, what I was doing, the type of results I was getting, and just kind of what was going on through my head in general. Before we do get into that, I'm going to talk about why I went vegan. I had mono when I was 28, mononucleosis. It took me out for like a month. It's horrible. You really do not understand how precious your health is until it's gone. In general, though, I was chronically fatigued, addicted to caffeine, several coffees a day to just keep my brain going, and I would drink Monster energy drinks in the evening or in the afternoon, daily, basically. I would buy the huge packs from the store, the 24 blocks, and then I would drink those every day. So I also wanted to look better, but I didn't want to sacrifice any performance whatsoever. I even said before I got started that I would just quit the diet altogether if I lost strength in any way. And even though I did lose some strength in the beginning, I still didn't quit because I liked the way I felt. I didn't come from an eating disorder background, not in my opinion anyway. Got into it initially for health, not for the animals, which I later got more into making the connection with the animals. I think this is a very important aspect of the diet, just like Duran, Ryder, and Freely say. And even, you got to put into perspective that even the most healthy eaters will from time to time, have a snack. We're talking non-vegan, healthy fitness people. They will eat, a cake for a birthday. It's got eggs and, maybe butter in it or whatever. So if you don't make that connection with the animals, then you're going to make those rationalizations to have something that, might have a little bit of butter in it or whatever. So it's very important for everybody to realize that. Okay, so first 2 weeks being vegan. So we're going to cover the positives first. So right off the bat, I got an immediate 5-pound weight loss within the first week, which stayed off entirely. So I dropped from 168 pounds to 163, and I held 163 for a while. We'll get to that later. Hygiene. Within 2 days, my breath got much better, especially on waking up. I suffered from bad breath for years. It was a horrible experience. I absolutely hated it. Even though I took great care of my teeth and brushed several times a day, the smell would persist even when, especially when dehydrated. So, I'd be like scared to talk to people in the morning before I ate breakfast or whatever. Now I literally forget to brush my teeth until the evening sometimes because my mouth feels clean. There's like nothing there, guys. Seriously, it's amazing. My skin felt cleaner, way less oily. And now I'm past the age of getting acne, but I just felt cleaner overall. And I also was able to quit caffeine from day one and never needed it again. No withdrawals, and never had it, even to this day. I think I've had one Coca-Cola during this entire year. Um, was still drinking alcohol, so I had something to mix it with, but haven't had that in a while either. So first 2 weeks, we're going to cover the negatives. Confusion on what to eat, not getting enough calories. I was grossly overestimating calories of like oranges and watermelon and stuff like that. It's amazing how much information you need to download into your brain to realize what it is that you need to do to make sure that you're getting enough calories on this diet. Um, get a scale right off the bat. Get a scale, a little digital scale, run you about $20. Totally worth it, just to kind of gauge where you're at. Use chronometer in the beginning, guys. Very important to dial in your calories, and use the weight of the food and not the predetermined little selections that they have on chronometer, because those can be off too. And another negative is not knowing where to shop. I mean, I was still shopping at regular conventional stores, the standard convenience stores that are around. Had no idea what to buy or what's in season. Basically clueless. Uh, just filling my shopping cart with what I thought made sense. It was an interesting time. And I also was making banana smoothies right off the bat, and I would get bloating, pretty bad bloating for a while after eating those, even when they were ripe. And I was eating them ripe always, because I did watch a lot of Durian Rider videos on that. Okay, we're going to cover the 2 weeks to 3 months mark. We're going to cover the positives. Number one, I learned how to eat enough. Found a couple sources of food, around to shop at. I started shopping at the local health food store, like a Whole Foods or Sprouts in our area is what they're called here. And I also had a small Mexican indoor, like sort of mini farmer's market that doesn't sell the highest quality food, but they at least had ripe stuff, and they had more of a selection for me. Variety is very important on this diet, guys. And I also shopped at a little stand near the side of the road near my house, which actually had really good fruit all the time, papayas and stuff like that. And they're open seasonally, so very good resource for me at the time. Number two, I felt amazing mentally and spiritually. I was very sharp and clear-headed, and this is without caffeine or anything like that. I had never felt like this ever. My brain just felt good. My eyes felt focused and clear. It's very hard to describe the fruit high that you get when you have, an 8-banana smoothie, but it's real. It's there. I drive around in the daytime with the windows down and just literally like sort of blissed out, as people would call it. I had this amazing feeling. I loved it. I was, like I said, I put my little notes here. I was very namaste at the time. It was very hard to throw me off my game. People couldn't piss me off. My friends were kind of getting weirded out by it. I used to talk a lot of crap, and I wasn't that way for a while, so it was interesting. The last thing here on the positives is I was high energy all the time. So, never a shortage of energy whatsoever. Whereas before going vegan, if I didn't have coffee in the morning after my breakfast, I would literally fall asleep in my computer chair within about 30 minutes of my breakfast. So I'd sleep all night, get a nice 8 hours of sleep, wake up, eat my breakfast, and then I would fall asleep again. That's not the way that our bodies are designed to operate. So that's not efficient. Okay, now I'm going to cover the 2 weeks to 3 months negatives. I still had weak digestion, so I was still getting bloating after my meals, especially the banana smoothies for lunch. I was eating a lot of food for dinner too, to the point of discomfort. So I was eating, huge plots of rice, like you see Durian Rider eat, white rice, a lot of white rice, and I did feel like I needed it at the time. I actually was really hungry for dinner, especially at the time. I was just kind of making jokes with my roommates about, hey, look how much I can eat. And, it was causing gas the next day, and it was causing bloating for sure. I'd be like a balloon Buddha belly for hours after my dinner. Um, I I learned where and how to eat out, but unfortunately, I still got caught with a couple non-vegan ingredients from time to time. You know, I'd get butter in my white rice, or like I had egg rolls on accident a couple times. Whatever, just move on. Keep going forward. It's an accident. Don't eat it next time. You know, no harm, no foul, in my opinion. You're doing what you can. And another negative, I'd say, you know, up to 3 months, I was one of those people expecting a little more weight loss from this. But given the way that I was eating and that I wasn't doing any cardio at all, there was no more weight loss. So I was still holding 163. I also lost a little bit of strength in the gym, but I attribute this mostly to, you know, probably still not eating enough foods or the right foods, and I also lost interest in the gym. So I was having trouble gaining strength, so I just kind of like bombed out of it. I was getting kind of over it, but I really was interested in getting more towards the cardio side and doing some endurance stuff. Okay, we're going to cover the 3 months to 9 months mark. In my opinion, this is where the biggest gains are going to be made for people. You're going to learn a lot in this time period. You're going to make a lot of growth with your knowledge of what's going on in the, you know, what you, as far as what you need to be doing, what you need to be eating. You're going to, you know, if you stay on this and you do your homework, you're going to figure a lot of stuff out. So you're going to find some stability, basically. We're going to cover the 3 to 9 months positives. I found out about the farmer's market during this time. So this was huge for me. I was able to find a consistent and high quality source of fruit and calories. And I was able to buy the best grains that money can buy. So, you know, I pay $3 a pound for broccoli. The guys, you know, the guys there know me by name at this point, and I love going there. I shop there every week. So, number two, you know, I learned how to cook with all the ingredients I was able to buy. So I was making a lot more home cooked meals that were giving me more variety, really quality meals, and I was figuring out how to eat a little bit less while still being satisfied. Um, uh, Before getting my bike, I was able to finally increase strength during the gym at this time, although slowly. So I was getting on somewhat of a consistent routine. I was making some progress. It wasn't enough to get me stoked or, you know, get fully into a hardcore gym routine where I was going 4 or 5 times a week again. But, you know, I was going about 3 times a week, and this for me is like a maintenance amount. It's not gonna put mass or size on me, but it's gonna kind of keep whatever I have going. Um, and also during this time, I got my first bike on Craigslist. So I got that bike about 5 months into it. And like I said, I got it on Craigslist. This is how I recommend that everybody should get started. I'll probably make another video on that later. It's not super expensive to get started, guys. You know, you drop $500 on a bike and maybe a couple $100 on some equipment like a helmet and shoes or whatever. But it's going to do you a lot of good. And if you hate it, you can resell it on Craigslist for pretty much the same price as you paid. So that's what I did after riding the bike for, you know, 300 miles. So another thing, I was feeling amazing most of the time, really high energy, which motivated me to work out more, especially ride the bike more. My digestion also improved dramatically simply by learning which foods gave me more bloat or more gas. You know, I lowered the size of my dinners during the time to a more reasonable, like 1,200 to 1,300 calories, rather than like 1,500 or 1,800 calorie dinners like before. Um, I rode my bike, like I said, for about 300 miles over the course of the first 3 months of owning it. Decided it was time to upgrade. So I got a new bike and started riding that really hard. From September to November, I lost about 5 to 8 pounds. So I was between 155 to 158 pounds after losing that weight in November. So November would be 9 months after starting the diet. So it would be towards the end of this 3 to 9 month period we're talking about. And around the 6 month mark, I went to the dentist for the first time after going vegan, and the x-rays were flawless on my teeth, no cavities, no issues whatsoever. My teeth are overall way less sensitive than they used to be and require a lot less maintenance. Like I said, I brush like once, maybe twice a day. I would have thought that sounded disgusting before, but honestly, it's pointless. It's pointless to brush him all the time. When I did go to the dentist, the dentist that I go to, she scraped like a tiny amount of plaque off my teeth with her tool. I mean, it was like under a minute, and she was done. I mean, she basically sat me in the chair, looked at my teeth, and then I told her that I was vegan. She laughed. She gave me the thumbs up, and I went out the door, basically. Okay, so we're gonna do the 3 to 9 month negatives. I would say that I lost my Zen Namaste feeling. Maybe it was taking it for granted, but I didn't have that feeling consistently. I still felt great, but recognizing it in the moment was kind of gone. I just got used to it, so I still feel great though, so it's not a bad thing. Um, you know, Another negative, I was still not super impressed with strength performance, but quickly shifted my goals over to cycling. So I basically just dumped the gym as far as what weights and strength training goes, because I was doing like a powerlifting type routine. And I was making good gains before going vegan, and I was doing okay, but I did expect to just continue on that same path when I went vegan, and I didn't. My mentality just shifted and what I wanted to do, and the whole thing changed. So um, another negative, I missed the feeling of being super hungry for dinner towards the end of the 9 months. I got used to just pounding in that massive dinner, and that was fun to me. But it went away. I didn't want to eat such huge meals anymore. I think maybe the body kind of got the fuel that it needed to heal whatever I was doing to it. I used to drink a lot, and I used to eat a lot of crap foods when I was doing the bodybuilding thing. So probably it needed to flush that stuff out. It probably is still doing work right now, a year in, but you know, who knows? Okay, we're going to cover the 9 months mark to the current day. So really 3 months ago to where I'm at today. I made a lot of realizations during this time and fine tuning to the diet and my workout regimen. And it's still in progress, but it's looking good at this point. So we're going to first cover the positives. Number one, athletic performance. It's got to be talked about. It's really, really amazing at this point. Absolutely amazing. I have energy to ride however hard or far I need to ride on my bike, and I'm improving in my speed on the bike in leaps and bounds. To give a real world example here, I dropped 20 minutes off of a local mountain climb PR personal record. So when I got my new bike 5 months ago, I did that same climb in an hour and 15 minutes, and then I did it like 2 weeks ago in 55 minutes. So 20 minutes, chopped right up the top. Everybody that I ride with say that's pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with that. Like yesterday was my 1 year vegan anniversary on Valentine's Day, so I celebrated with a 40-mile ride and 5,000 feet of elevation. No problem. I actually wrote out the notes material that I'm speaking in this video with yesterday, so I still had some brain function left after I ate some food, of course, and I also ate a huge, large pizza, vegan pizza for dinner, and was able to eat that, and that was fun. So today, as far as weight loss goes, I know this is what everybody is interested in, apparently, but I'm down 148 pounds today. So that is a total weight loss of 20 pounds going vegan. So 1 year, 20 pounds. What I will say is that during the times I was cycling a lot, the weight loss would obviously happen faster. But during the times that I wasn't cycling, like if I had to take a 3 or 4 weeks off for some little minor injury or whatever, which has happened, I've had to mess with the fitting of the bike and stuff like that. Weight wouldn't gain. I honestly don't even think it's possible to gain weight on this diet, at least for me, even eating a pretty high amount of calories compared to what normal people would think is like a reasonable amount of calories. But definitely during the times I was cycling a lot, weight's coming down faster. And I'd also like to point out that, I have a very stable state of mind these days. The confidence that I have in myself and what I'm doing I'm at peace. It's a very nice feeling, and it's something that I hadn't experienced before. It could be my age, it could be a lot of other factors in my life, but just the lifestyle that I'm building, I'm very happy with that and very thankful for it. It's really nice. So I recommend people do it just for that. Honestly, it's definitely worth it. I'd also like to cover, around the 6 month mark, my skin on my arms and my back cleared up considerably. So I used to have chronic acne, and in those spots, my skin is basically, it's like butter smooth now. So I never even thought about that as something that would clean up or heal on this diet. But as far as skin issues goes, it's amazing. This diet, I've heard so many stories on YouTube and read so many stories about people curing their acne and their different skin disorders um, with this diet, and it really does work. It just might take time. It's not even something, like I said, that I thought about going into it, but you just need to be patient. I actually know a friend in Texas that is going through. He's on his first month of going vegan, and he has white spots on his hand that showed up about 5 years ago. That it looks like his hand is basically uh, just big patches of white spots, and they are clearing up considerably just within 1 month. So, like me with the bad breath, uh, which was a big deal to me. This was like his version of that, and basically he's sold, he's hooked. I mean, when you get results like that instantly, that just immediately fixes some long-standing issue that you've had in your life, it changes the game. You're not willing to go back to anything else, really. Um, what else can we cover here? Um, Another positive, cooking and eating out is basically an afterthought at this point. It's pretty easy. I know the local spots and even spots that are in other cities. My friends eat with me now at full vegan restaurants. They kind of know the deal. Like I said, the farmers market guys know me by name, give me VIP treatment when I go in there. I'm spending about 50 to 60 bucks a week at the farmers market. That's in addition to other, buying other foods or whatever. But that covers basically most of my fruit besides bananas, and it covers my greens. So it's definitely worth it. And also another positive is just helping other people. So like I said, I've got the buddy in Texas that has started going vegan. I've got another close friend here that I've known for many years that's going vegan. My grandma is going vegan now, part time at least, and she said it's helping her. Um, Kind of just spreading this health message to people is really important. And you know when people see you, they can recognize health and fitness almost immediately. It's really different to the bodybuilding lifestyle where you're trying to show off and really nobody cares. And then in this lifestyle, you're getting healthier, and people want that. It's awesome. And I also want to say that between the three people that I just mentioned that are going vegan or have kind of dabbled with it, they've all lost 10 to 20 pounds in less than 3 months each from starting vegan. So, everybody's losing weight. They all had more weight to lose than I did, but and and for somebody who's pretty overweight, like let's say you're a man or a woman over 200 pounds, right, and you're mostly fat. You have a lot of weight to lose, and it will happen pretty quickly, in my estimation, from jumping over to something like RawTill4. Okay, we're going to cover the negatives. 9 months to current day negatives. Um, Still fine tuning digestion for optimal results. So for me, when I say digestion, that's a pretty broad term, but for me, I know it's going to give me like constipation at this point. Don't eat unripe bananas, and for me, it's like pasta, like full wheat gluten pasta. Feels like cement's been poured in my intestines. I can't handle that. So it's just small things like that. Um, but overall, it's worth it. Like I said, I've recently figured out that like kale in my smoothies gives me way more gas than I want throughout the day. So I cut that out. I put spinach in my smoothies, and it's better. Uh, and actually, another negative is trying to find out how to stop losing weight. uh, So, 148 pounds. I don't want to go much lower. 140 pounds is probably going to be my rock bottom limit. And then, if I hit 140 pounds, which today, actually, after my ride, I actually was 145 pounds. I'm gonna have to slow down on the cycling, or I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when it gets here. But yeah, I'm starting to lean out pretty hardcore, and I'll throw some pictures up before and after. Um, you know, and like I said, the weight loss, you just have to be patient with it. Okay, closing remarks and tips from me. Uh, Number one, I used to force in 3,000 calories a day, sometimes higher, when I first started eating this way. I no longer worry about the numbers anymore. I just eat when I'm hungry and eat till I'm satisfied. If I had to put a number on it, I probably eat around 2,300 calories a day on the low end, where I don't do anything at all. So if that's what I'm hungry for, that's what I eat. I don't worry about it. I'm not about stuffing myself, my face. I did that when I was doing the bodybuilding stuff. Smashing in 5 meals a day. I hated it, and if I'm not interested in that, I'm not going to do it. So I'd say I'm 3,200 calories on the high end when I do a lot of cycling, and when I'm eating on the ride, and I eat. If I'm riding, I'll eat while I'm on the ride. I'll take dates with me or like some gels or whatever, and then I also will tend to eat a lot after the ride. So I'll have a bigger smoothie than I would normally eat on a day where I don't do anything, and then also for dinner, I'll put in an extra scoop of rice or something like that, and then that's what I'll eat. Um, I stick to fruits for breakfast and lunch. Uh, Only fruits. So definitely lately I've been having a ton of oranges for breakfast. I love that. It's pretty light on the stomach. Drink a little bit of water before you do it, and then smash down as many oranges as you can get in, and then it just seems to kickstart the whole system. You get hydrated from it, and for lunch I have basically a banana smoothie like every single day. It makes me feel the best to eat this way. It makes me hydrated. Um, like I said, I probably had a banana smoothie for 340 out of the past 365 days. It's amazing to never get tired of eating that food. Uh, you know, there's nothing else on the planet that you could eat for that many days in a row that you wouldn't get sick of. I don't care what people say their favorite meal is. You can ask any non-vegan, what's your favorite meal? Is it hamburgers? Well, they're not going to eat hamburgers every day. So it just proves to me that this is what our body is designed to eat uh, properly. So, um, think about it this way: lions don't get tired of eating zebras or gazelle. So they eat that every day. That's their meal, and this is our food. So for dinner, I'll eat foods of all types, usually clean with low salt, low sodium, low fat, like brown rice or quinoa, with sauteed vegetables. If I do saute vegetables, I either use no oil or just like a teaspoon of oil, just to kind of get the vegetables going on the thing. It does taste good, but I don't like to eat too much oil. Sometimes I'll eat brown rice pasta, pizza, pho, whatever I'm feeling that's vegan. And I do not eat spicy food anymore. I used to love spicy food. I still do, but as far as the flavor is concerned, but it causes pretty bad digestion. And when you start getting into this diet, you really become in tune with your body, and you will understand, eating such consistent food every day, what the one thing is that's out of place. If you eat oranges for breakfast every day, bananas for lunch every day, and then you eat like brown rice and vegetables for dinner, well, whatever random variable you throw in there, you're going to know what's messing it up if you have good digestion on the days where you have your normal foods, if that makes sense. Um, another another thing that I want to talk about is that I haven't been sick in a year with any illness other than minor allergies due to seasonal change, which I always get. I've gotten my whole life. But as far as cold or flu, I am the first person when I see my non-vegan friends. I talk a bunch of crap when they get sick. I'm a very vocal, mean, in a joking way, vegan. I will bring it up. I will say, well, you could eat like me. You won't get sick. I know that vegans do get sick eventually, but It hasn't happened to me yet, and I'll take that one to the bank. Still allergic to cats, and still, you know, my skin is still sensitive to dust mites. So I'm hoping that changes over time. But as far as my allergies go, they are still the same. We'll see what happens with that. And you know, overall, the way that I feel is it's worth it. So whatever you're thinking, if you're on the fence, just jump on this. Just do it. Set a timeline and go for it. And also, I think that this lifestyle is for everyone. So um, science and the results of all the people doing this show that it's a healthy lifestyle. You know, it's probably the healthiest lifestyle you can live. And really, your only way to be truly your peak, absolute happiest and best. Health is something that everybody deeply desires without consciously knowing it. So once you have it, you don't want to let it go. And when you lose it, you really wish that you could have it back. Trust me. And you know, something else about this lifestyle is it's not a glamorous lifestyle. So eating fruits and vegetables, it's not as fancy as eating at a high-end steakhouse in Hollywood or something like that. You know, depending on your job, it might not, you know, it might be tough to eat out with your coworkers or maybe some clients or something like that, but it's worth it. Generally, everybody's pretty respectful. I can't go anywhere without people asking me questions about it. I'm up for talking about it as long as they're cool, and I don't try and push it on people that I don't know well at all. I do my best to keep it kind of to myself. But when you're walking around with a bundle of bananas, like you're you're pretty noticed at the store and also in public. So you will be that guy. You will be carrying around bananas. You will be carrying around dates, fruit juices, whatever keeps well in your car. You know, apples. Because when you're driving around all day or whatever, you need to eat. You need your food with you, and that's just the way it goes. So I think it's funny. It's a good way to spread the message, and you know, just do it. Have fun with it. So another thing to note is any aesthetic body image that you want is possible on this diet. So, you know, I do kind of adhere to the 80-10-10 guidelines, but if it just naturally that's the way I eat. But if I was to try and gain more size, more muscle mass, maybe some modifications, at least for me. Uh, you know, I maybe throw in more protein, maybe throw in a little bit more fat, as long as it wasn't too unhealthy. But that may, you know, increasing the fat especially may compromise your energy levels. But something to note is that fitness really rises with carbs. And when I'm talking about fitness, I'm talking about cardiovascular fitness on the bike or running or whatever. You will naturally want more carbs, and that's what you give your body. But a bigger and stronger body may require more protein and may require a little bit more fat. I was still messing around with these figures. Like I said, gaining size isn't my current goal right now, so I'm not really worried about it. But you know, it's your energy is not super optimal when you start messing around with your fat, and to me, it's not worth it to compromise the good feelings that I have on this diet for size. It's not worth it. A tip I can give you guys is that it's all about eating the carbs. It's all about sleeping and peeing clear. If one of those is off, you will not feel optimal. Guaranteed. Simple as that. If all those three are on point, it's pretty hard to feel anything but really good and really energized. Don't kill yourself trying to follow the exact RawTill4 guidelines that, you know, freely sets out. You know, nothing against that. It's something good to start with. But, you know, if you want to eat oatmeal in the morning or whatever instead of oranges, or maybe you don't have fruit in your area that or whatever, you know, just do it. Don't think about it. Just eat the carbs. Keep it vegan, and you know you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank, as me and my buddies say. The one in Texas who lost 20 pounds already, he was eating vegan ice cream for like his first week on the diet, and he said he already lost like 10 pounds or whatever, and we were just cracking up. Like, if people really knew that you could eat vegan ice cream and eat vegan food all day and you're going to lose weight without even really trying, I mean, people would be jumping on this like crazy. It's just the message needs to get out to more people, and vegan needs to stop being something that's like so scary to people. Anyways, so thanks for watching the video, guys. Give it a thumbs up, like the video, share it. There will be more in the future, and thanks for watching, and Future is bananas, guys. Remember that. All right. See ya.